Ladies and gentlemen, the beat goes on.
Turn it up.
What you're about to hear may cause your speakers to explode.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight we are live. It's another episode in the Mott the Hoople series. Tonight we're taking a look at British Lions and Mott the Hoople Live. Now we're looking at the 30th anniversary edition of this 2 CD set. The panel's here, Parish and Nick. We're just here trying to turn you on to Mott the Hoople.
Grant is trying to change the world one track at a time. Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and Nick is here and the Parish, and we're here just talking Mott the Hoople. And for God's sakes, I must say, who is going to talk about the British Lions album? Well, we are. Nobody else is, but darn it, we figured that was part of the series. Anyway, gentlemen, how are you? How's
Good.
everything going?
Very good. Doing well.
We got Cretan in the audience. I played okay. I played the British Lions album before, and now I'm on the Mott the Hoople Deluxe release. Excellent.
Good.
Ken White, nice to see you. I do want to thank everybody for coming on tonight, and we got 7 people. This is changing the world. 7 people at a time. So we'll get some more people as we get going. We got a little late start, but that's no big deal. You guys are all hardcore, and I do appreciate everybody tuning in. Please leave a like if you can. If you haven't subscribed, one of the 12, please subscribe. Anyway, let's get started. I think, gentlemen, we will start off with... Let's start off with the Mott the Hoople Live 30th anniversary release. Now, anybody in the chat, we will reach out to you during this show, because if you do have any ratings out of 10 on this release, we originally looked at the single CD set back on the other show, but let's open this up. So if anybody has any comments, I'll try to get to them. Anyway. So, as anyone knows, or you may not know this, because I was kind of turned on to this later, and I wasn't exactly sure that, well, until these guys mentioned it, I really didn't, I didn't even realize there was a 30th anniversary edition. So if anybody remembers the original 1974 album that we talked about, I mean, it's a great glam rock concert. I mean, I would say that was at their peak commercial success. Before Ian Hunter departed, but the original LP was a single LP released, and it was always criticized for being too short and not fully representative of their set list. So along comes what year was this? Like 2004?
Yeah.
This came along. 2 CD set. You've got 2 separate concerts. One for the Uris Theater in Broadway, New York from 1974. I think that was May 8th and 9th. And the Hammersmith Odeon concert, December 73. I will say this. I do like the way this record sounds. I think the mastering's good. It's not muddy by any means. But anyway, we're going to start out with that one. And I think I'm going to start out with, let's throw it over to Nick first, and then we'll go around to the Parish. Nick, what's your whole thoughts on this record? What would you rate this out of 10? You know how we do this on this show, everybody.
Yeah. I was able to, it's one of the rare Mott albums I don't own. Someone gave this to me as a burned copy 20 years ago when it came out. I know. And I do listen to it on Spotify as well. I immediately fell in love with this album. I love this album. I have talked to people about it. I think it's the best live album I've heard in at least 20 years. And I'll just go right for it. I think it's a 10. I could be nitpicky. I'd be nitpicky by saying, oh, well, some of the tracks are doubled on the US side and the British side, but it's a great listening experience. So if you listen to the US side, you get that almost the whole concert, start to finish. You don't miss a track. You don't skip along. You listen to the UK side, same thing. You're immersed in the experience, and they both sound great, and they both have merit. There's subtle differences, especially with the tracks they played, the UK version being the first concert of the two. And it seems like, they were hitting hitting their marks in that show. However, then comes May, and they're really firing on all cylinders. I mean, this is a band, like, to me, this is what a rock and roll band is all about. You get it all here. You get great musicianship. You get great songs. You've got the crowd reaction. It's live. There's a tip of the hat to old school rock. There's a glam element to it. I think that what's highlight for me is Luther stands out on guitar. He does Mick Ralphs very well, but he stands as his own man. You've got the
Marlon. Go ahead, sorry.
It's a 10. Why, they have a problem with the 10?
Oh, it's Marlon. He's going to give a shit the whole show. It's fine.
Oh, well, I can't comment, nor would I, but yeah, it's a 10. I'm very stingy on 10s, and it's a fucking 10.
Nice. All right. I like it.
Shit for shitheads, so I'm in no mood for fucking shit talkers. Anyway, it's a fucking 10. And if you know anything about rock and roll, and if you know anything about any music and anything about live albums, you would know that this is up there. And unfortunately, because it was released 30 years later, you know, it didn't have the press that sort of like was out there in amongst their reunion, I guess. But it's a great album. I mean, for me, like I'll give you a couple highlights off of it. The U.S. side starts with an acoustic, almost a cappella rendering of American Pie, and they go into the golden age of rock and roll, which is, for me, phenomenal. Yes, it's a 10 without Ralphs.
Yeah,
yes, it's a 10 without Ralphs. Tough guy.
I have to agree, Marlon.
Who is this guy?
This is Marlon. He always comes on.
Is he ever on your show?
He's never been on the show, but he comes in the comments.
Why? Yeah, he's all talk. He's a keyboard guy. He's a
but no,
guy.
It's
a 10 without Ralphs.
It's a 10 without Ralphs.
10 without Ralphs. Oh, by the way, Luther also fucking played on a 10 on Spooky Tooth too. So he's a great guitar player. It's a 10 without Mick Ralphs. Just like Mick Ralphs hasn't played on all 10s as well, too. We all know that, right? It's a fucking 10. This is how you get me to go from 0 to 60, by the way. Anyway.
Now we know that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, here, speaking of the album, there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of electricity. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got Morgan Fisher, as well as, you know, there's like the synth keyboard guys are on there, two different guys in UK and as well as the US thing. So for me, it's how a band should sound. I love the album. I couldn't recommend it highly enough. And, you know, I'm curious to hear what you guys say, because I've lived with this album for like 20 years now. So, you know, you guys coming to it a little more recently, I'd really be interested in hear what you say. I think it's just a wonderful experience, and it's the kind of thing that, you know, I celebrate when there's an album this good. So
now, excellent. So I'm going to put that down as a 10. It's all about.
And you know, I'm stingy. I'm very stingy on 10s.
I'm not sure. Are you sure that he said it was a 10, Grant? I didn't get that.
What is it?
TEN. 10.
I was joking.
I know. TEN.
I like it when Nick's all worked up. This is fun. All right, cool. We have a 10. Now, Parish, I can't remember. It's been a while since we've had our show. So did you already have this, or did you purchase this later I did?
I have the original, but I purchased this after Nick's recommendation.
Right.
And I mean, before we get to the record, it's got a lovely sleeve with some really good photos, some information about the concerts. So it's worth getting, to be honest, if only for that. Oh, sorry.
Well, I thought maybe you're going to show it. You could show it. Well, I can show it too. There. Yeah. Look at that. Very nice. You know, nice booklet. Nice information.
Great booklet. Lots of good information. I mean, it's interesting, really. So if you take the Hammersmith show, the opening act was Queen for that concert in 1973. And so how do you follow Queen in 1973? Well, to be honest, you follow them with this concert that came, because I do really like the original album. I said that when we did the review. But I'm really pleased that Nick introduced me to this double set, because it is much better having the whole. Well, I don't know if it's the whole concerts, but certainly fleshed out considerably. And there are some great tracks that aren't on the original. So really good. I still like the Hammersmith side a bit more, but that might just be my bias, being a regular attendee of the Hammersmith Odeon, so maybe it's just a natural bias. And you're right, Nick, when you say it's pure rock and roll in the sort of 1970 sense of it, with some of the medleys it's got in there, the way it weaves some of the sort of cover versions of songs they never recorded anywhere else and all of that. So I think it's really good. I'm really pleased that I got introduced to it. I've been playing it a lot. I work here in the office quite often with the CD player, and I've been playing it a lot. So would I give it a 10? Well, who am I to disagree with Nick? So I'm going to give it a 10 as well, because it is really good.
All right. So far, it's looking Webb was mowing his yard. Yeah, we were yelling to Webb, who was out mowing his yard, so he could hear us.
And
Anyway,
just
go
in
ahead.
response to Marlin's comment about Strangers in the Night, as I think that's one of the top 3 best live albums ever. Then yeah, I would probably put it 15 to 20, somewhere on that kind of scale.
But you can't really. But I don't think you can compare UFO to Mott the Hoople. It's two different animals.
And I like that's a 10 for me too. And I'm stingy. I'm sitting here like, oh no, Mick Ralphs. It's not a 10. Like, come on.
No,
this. You know what it is? It's a person who has not listened to it. If you listen to it more than once, then you would understand. But you have not listened to it. So listen to it, and then you can form an opinion. But you haven't listened to it. That is clear.
You can get Nick work. I didn't know we could get Nick work so
much. And also, it doesn't actually matter whether it's a 10 or not. It's just album.
I'm putting this up there,
and it's worth listening.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna go. I think this is my go-to version. Like I said, I like the way this sounds. There's no murkiness here. I do think that the Hammersmith show is a little bit. They seem to bring it on hard. I like that concert better. You've got. Wait a minute. Am I at the Hammersmith notes? Okay. You've got a lot of. God, how do I want it? What do I want to say? The Broadway disc feels a little bit different than the Hammersmith disc. I think that the Broadway disc feels a little bit more polished, if that's possible. The Hammersmith show is raw, more chaotic. I think it has a certain livelier aspect, which I think it just, you can just feel the energy at the show, which I enjoy quite a bit. Both of them are great. I mean, look, we've got 2 concerts here. What a great way to do a reissue, for goodness sakes. Phenomenal. I'd say that this record's up with Frampton Comes Alive. Some of the tracks on here, I think you might look at these and go, well, these are definitely the real versions to go to. But you've got a lot of anthemic rockers on here. I mean, American Pie, the Golden Age of Rock and Roll, the mashup, it's kind of funny. I just think but it kicks off. There's a lot of high energy Sucker, glam, punchy glam rock. Bender's guitar work on this record, on these shows, phenomenal. Just because what's his name's not on it, I don't think it takes away anything from it, because I think Bender adds a lot to it. Sweet Jane, Roll Away the Stone. I mean, come on. Ian Hunter's delivery of Sweet Jane. Some people may even think that is the definite version. What else? Born Late 58, Watts drum, Watts bass is very right in your face. It's rowdy and fun. One of the boys is anthemic. I think the whole thing flows well. I think both, I don't know, both shows are good. On the, what do I want to say? Roll Away the Stone, I do think it's a glam staple. Sweet Evangeline on Hammersmith is got a very Stones vibe to it. Whatever. I do think that the whole thing, it's a great package. I would have to give it, why do I think that this is like the definite version of Mott? I don't know. I'm going to give it a 10. I think both of it, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal.
Oh, we're
we're
handing
not-
out we're handing out 10s like candy. Oh, we're handing out 10s like candy.
We're handing them out like candy.
Like candy.
All right, Marlon's going to go with the solid 8, but a solid 8.
Oh, well, thank God he checked in with an 8. Oh, I mean,
Okay.
my night is complete.
You've completed this.
Oh, thank God he checked in with an 8.
Well, I
Thankfully.
dig it. Out of all these Mott records we've looked at, there's something special about this 30th anniversary edition.
Right.
Does John wants to know, does the Panic consider Mott the Hoople to be British heavy metal? Gentlemen, your thoughts?
No.
I do not.
At times they're hard rock, but I wouldn't say heavy metal.
Yeah. Ashley from Australia is saying definitely no. And if Ashley says no, it means no. Really, I have no idea. All right. Cretan. Okay. He says no. Anyway, I like it. Does anybody else other than... All right. Wait a minute. I missed Ken's rating. Hold on. I don't get... But this album's going to be a 9.5. We got a 9.5 from Ken White. Jeez. Ken White gives it a 9.5. We're in good shape. Anybody else? Doug Wolf is going raw. He likes the rawness. But Doug Wolf, what would you give this record out of 10? Judas Priest Unleashed Neath is a 10. Ash is coming in at a 7.5. I'm good with that. Hot Garbage hasn't heard the whole album, so I can't form an opinion. That's fair. Cretan's coming in with a 9. This is looking, this might be one of the highest ones we've ever had. Jeff's coming in with a 9. It's a great record, people. Doug Wolf coming in with a 9. All right. I think we're getting a lot of love from the Mott the Hoople live album tonight. Anyway, let's just see what we've got a good score. I'm just going to tally it up. We got a 9.1. Ash says, calm the farm, Marlon. I'm not a huge Mott fan. All right. Well, it's all right. Hey, 9.1. I'm good with that. Gentlemen, is that good with you, gentlemen?
Yeah, well, I think
All
it's
right.
great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. The other record we're going to talk about today is the British Lions album, 1978 debut. Of course, this is post Mott the Hoople.
Are we going to do both of them? We're going to do both the British Lions or just the one?
That's a damn good question. I only prepped for one, but if you boys can talk about the other one, feel free to talk about it. I'll let you guys talk about it.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, why did I only have, well, it's fine. So anyway, you got, okay, so the members, Morgan Fisher, keyboards, Ray Major, lead guitar, Overend, I always mess his name up, Overend Watts, bass, and Dale Griffin on drums. They are joined by John Fiddler on lead vocals and guitar. He was in a band called Medicine Head, so they got signed to RSO, and they were on Vertigo in the UK. So it's straightforward rock and roll. There are glam remnants here, I think. I hear a lot of pub rock on it. We have no Ian Hunter here, but we're going to turn it over to the panel to get what their thoughts are on this record. I'm going to throw it over to Nick. Nick, what's your thoughts on well, you can talk about both British Lions albums if you want. Talk about whatever you want. So
yeah, I was really prepped for this. I own this. I don't know the second one, but they're sort of bookended.
Okay.
But as far as the first album goes, and you hit the term. I was trying to figure out, well, what am I listening to? I found there was elements of pub rock and what I think is new wave, like the early crest of new wave, with still some traditional rock, classic rock elements to it. But I found that the production was of its time. I was that whole sort of time period of music, they sort of seem like they dial back drums and bass, boosted mids, whatever. But I really enjoyed this album, and I think I liked it more than the Mott albums, which surprised me because I hadn't heard this in a while and dug it out again. And I think I enjoyed it now in 2025 than I did when I probably picked this up about 10, 15 years ago. I thought that John Fiddler was a pretty interesting, he writes a lot of the music. I thought he was a good voice. At times, believe it or not, I was hearing like elements of Phil Lynott in there, and maybe even Mark Bolan. And there's somebody else. Parish is going to educate me as to who I'm hearing in there too.
I've got a couple of
Oh,
others.
he's getting ready right now. He's getting ready right now.
But I found that Ray Major's guitar playing was great. It was impressive. I thought he did some really cool things on here. And, you got to always have a solid rock tandem with the Griffin and Watts with drums and bass. So I really liked it. So, whereas Mott, to me, those two albums, to me, I think I ranked them like 6.5. It was almost like pantomime Mott to me. This seems to be something different. There's a little bit of elements of Mott, but it seems like this is something new. And that they weren't sort of trying to repeat stuff. So on that level, I kind of liked it. And I found that this album was more looking forward rather than looking backward, and to try to say, hey, this is who we were. It's more like, here's who we are. Let's go forward. And because of this, I've sort of been inspired to listen to John Fiddler with Medicine Head, which is a totally different thing. It seems too, it's almost like a bluesy, early T-Rex. But, and I read somewhere that these guys toured with Status Quo in the UK, which makes sense. And they toured with AC/DC in the States, which makes sense too. So I kind of liked it. I mean, we can go over the tracks, but I mean, overall, I'd give it a 7. Okay. So for me, a 7 is more like you should hear it. You should consider buying it, but you should at least hear it. And I kind of like it. I mean, to me, there's no like flat out crushing track that's a classic to me, but it seemed, for me, it's like sort of solid from, not solid, but it's consistent from start to end. How's that? And there was nothing on this album that offended me. So there you go.
All right. So 7. I'm good with that. All right, Parish, what's your thoughts on these debut British Lions record?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a UK pub rock sound to this. I'd say there's elements of hard rock, there's elements of glam, definitely UK late 70s new wave. And I'll come on to who it reminds me of most in a minute. I don't have the album, but I do remember it when it came out. I had a friend called Clive, and we used to buy albums, and if we really liked them, so one would buy an album, or the other would buy an album. If we really liked them, we'd buy both. But if we quite liked it, we would just listen to the albums at each other's houses. So this takes me back. Clive bought this album, and I remember listening to it quite a lot at his house, and I haven't heard it since, to be honest. So it was quite interesting coming back to it. The first song I think is really good. One More Chance to Run. I think it's a really good opener. I don't think it sounds like the rest of the album, though. That's probably the most rock, sort of traditional hard rock, almost American rock sounding. And on that particular song, his vocals remind me of Phil Lewis of LA Guns and Girl. It's kind of got a similar sound to that.
Wow, yeah.
So that's, but then after that, the rest of the album doesn't really sound like it. And with the second song, Wild in the Streets, this is when they start sounding like that other band, and that other band is Boomtown Rats. I think his vocals are very Bob Geldof in time.
Oh wow, okay.
So I listened to it, and I'll come on to a few of the songs I think sound pretty Boomtown Rats as well, particularly from the Tonic from the Troops kind of era.
Now, Parish, I hate to interrupt, but Martin is not a big fan of the British Lions record. And you mentioning Boomtown Rats, because Martin really is in the Boomtown Rats.
Yeah.
I'm surprised British Lions isn't up his alley. I should have Martin come on this show.
Yeah, so that's his vocals in particular, but Wild in the Street sounds like Boomtown Rats to me. And it's interesting they're called the British Lions, because if there's two bands it reminds me of in the main, it's Boomtown Rats and Thin Lizzy. So they should really be called the Irish Lions, I think, rather than the British Lions. And his vocals do sound a bit like, what's his name? The guy from The Almighty. What's his name? Can't remember his name now. Fronted Thin Lizzy for a bit. Ricky Warwick. I think the vocals are a bit like, and Ricky Warwick had that kind of sounded a bit like Phil Lynott, but doesn't sound like Phil Lynott. And I think there's a bit of this on this album as well. I think Breaking the Fall's pretty good. But what I think is really interesting, you've got to get 4 songs in before you hear any elements of Mott the Hoople, in my view. So International Heroes, I do think sounds like Mott the Hoople, which is ironic when it's a Kim Fowley song.
Right.
It's not, so it's not actually written by the band, but that's the one I think of the album sounds most like a Mott the Hoople song.
And actually, what I've been learning is if you listen to early Fiddler, I think he's a Dylan devotee. So if anything, it's his connection to Dylan, which makes him sound like
probably, yeah, that would make sense. Folk Talking Man, I think is really Boomtown Rats sounding. My Life in Your Hands, I think, has got a bit of a Springsteen feel to it, more musically than lyrically. Big Drift Away, which is an 8.5-minute epic, I think is really good. I think that builds brilliantly. Reminds me a bit of Cry For Me from the Heavy Metal Kids, which you'll know all about now.
Heavy Metal Kids, yes.
You've been listening to them. And then Booster, which I think is the best song on the album, is just sounds like Do the Rat by Boomtown Rats to me. It's got the same vibe, the same kind of the way he sings it, the piano throughout the album as well. Yes. I think it's very Johnny Fingers from the Boomtown Rats, a similar kind of sound. I like the bass on it. And then the drummer is really new wave. Those drum fills could be the Jam, it could be the Boomtown Rats, it could be the Stranglers. There's a real new wave element to the drum fill. So a bit of Springsteen, a bit of Thin Lizzy, a bit of LA Guns, and a lot of Boomtown Rats is how I'd sum up this album.
Thank you.
I think it's a good album. I'd probably give it an 8, actually. I've really enjoyed it. I haven't bought it, but it hasn't come yet because it was released recently on, can't remember what label it was now. Was it Cherry that it was out on recently?
I got the original. Mine was a Japanese import.
Oh, well, it was
but
released.
It just got re-released. Okay.
Yeah. A couple of years ago anyway, so I've got that on order. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Took me back a bit to listening to records with my old school friend as well, so that was quite fun. But yeah, I'd say it's a good album, and a bit like you, Nick, better than I thought it was going to be coming into it, having not heard it for a long time. And I remember being a bit dismissive of it at the time, so I was really, really pleased.
Yeah,
pleased that we've done this. Actually, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I think if you like the Boomtown Rats from the first couple of albums, it's definitely worth a listen. And if you like things that are a bit Thin Lizzy like, it's worth a listen as well.
Yeah, I think Parish, all good points. What you hear, the different bands, Boomtown Rats, etc. 100%. I hear the new wave elements that you're talking about. It's very early, but it all has to stem somewhere. And I think that probably had the big influence on the band. What did I write here? I mean, it's catchy. It's guitar-driven rock. You have a little bit of synths on it. I think I agree with you that One More Chance to Run doesn't quite, it kind of is a standout. It's a little bit different than anything else that's on the record. But I think the slide guitar from Watts on here, freaking killer. Wild in this, huh?
Major.
Yeah.
Ray Major. He said Watts.
Whoa, did I say Watts?
Yeah, Major.
Oh, the brain. Anyway, but anyway, the slide guitar on it, Major, unbelievable. I think it's great. Wild in the Streets, great track. It's really, I don't really know what else to add than what these other gentlemen have talked about, but it's very straightforward, guitar-driven rock, a little bit of new wave on it. Is it something that I think you really need? If you are a Mott the Hoople fan and you're a completist, you need all of it. You may want to go down that road and pick it up. I don't think that this is a record that is going to set the world on fire. It obviously didn't set the world on fire back when it came out originally. What would I give this? I think I would probably give this, I'd be happy giving this, well, I don't want to be, I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10. It's decent.
Yeah.
You still have Mott the Hoople. You can still hear them faintly in the background.
Right.
Catchy tracks, one more chance to run. But I don't think it lacks the spark. It lacks the innovation of the prior work. That's what I really hear. Anyway, it's worth a spin if you're a completist.
Yep.
But it could have been a better record than it was. But hey, I'd rather have it than not. So I would give that, what did I say, 7?
7.
7. Parish, what did you give it?
8.
Sorry, I didn't keep up. Creighton enjoyed it. Okay. Ken White has heard the album. He's given it a 7.5. It looks like we're all going to hover in that area.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people in the chat haven't heard it. Okay. Creighton, he enjoyed it. 7.5. Okay.
Davey made a good point. You can tell these guys were also influenced by punk at this point. So there's some sort of like punky sprinkling on there too.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think what I found quite interesting listening to it is I've never thought of Mott the Hoople of having an influence on Boomtown Rats. But after this album and thinking about the Boomtown Rats kind of sounding similar, I'm going to go and do a bit of research. I wonder actually whether Mott the Hoople was an influence on the Boomtown Rats, because there's definitely around the piano sound, the bass lines, etc. There's definitely a similarity there. So nothing. It's not something I've ever thought about before, but I've got a feeling maybe they were an influence. The other thing that's probably just worth mentioning is the opener that we spoke about, One More Chance to Run. Joe Elliott of Def Leppard has a side project called Down and Outs.
Yeah.
And I think we probably all know that Joe Elliott's a big Mott the Hoople fan. Anyway, on one of their albums, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, it was a track, they did a cover of it, and it's a pretty good version, actually. So if you've not heard it, it's worth having a listen to that as well.
Cool. Yeah, that's great.
All right, cool. Anybody else in the chat that's heard this record that want to chime in real quick before we tally this up? But it looks like to me it's going to have around
I think Ash is absolutely right. It is dated. I mean, it's very much of its time. It's just, I guess, whether you like music from that time. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. It might not be for everybody, but hey, it's there. I don't see anything coming else. No one really knows this record, but that's good. That's what I like. We're talking about a record no one knows about from the 70s, for God's sake.
And hey, if Parish can do it, he can talk about the second one. I'll just chime in because I don't have it. I've been listening to it, but go ahead.
I will talk about it because I've never heard it before until you sent the email around saying, "Hey guys, there's a second one as well."
I know.
And it is on Spotify, so it wasn't hard to listen to. It's called Trouble with Women, and I would have to say it is quite different to that debut. There's bits of AC/DC on there, which no doubt came from the fact they toured with them.
Yep.
But it's mostly, in my view, art rock with a bit of early 80s new wave. I think it's a mess of an album. There's so many different conflicting styles. There's no hooks on the album, and there's one track that is maybe a standout track. But whilst I'll say it's a mess of an album, I'd say it's actually a really enjoyable mess.
Okay.
So I really like the album. Well, I say really like the album. I like the album. And I'll start to take you through why it's a bit of a mess. So the first track sounds like Bill Nelson's Red Noise with some sort of high energy guitar added in. But if you know Bill Nelson, it's lots of early synthesizers, experimentation with noises. Quite often you can't hear a song in there, but it's interesting to hear the sound that's coming out. And that first song is like that, but it's got a lot of or the guitar is much more in your face. Any Port in the Storm is AC/DC meets XTC. I mean, it's got a real AC/DC riff to it. It's got an AC/DC drum sound to it, and yet it sounds like XTC with the keyboards and the kind of innovation that they were doing at that time. So a really weird song, but certainly worth listening to.
AC/DC and XTC, I've never heard that combination. You may have broken the internet, Parish.
The next song, the vocally sounds like Jonathan Richman of Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers. It's a really odd sort of vocal to it, but quite a nice song. The next three, I think, are all a bit interchangeable and a bit messy, but still quite enjoyable. Electric Chair is the only song on the album that I think sounds like Mott the Hoople at all. It's got elements of Mott the Hoople, and yet it then finishes with a song which actually has got a really, I think it's quite a funny title. It's a bit of a double entendre because it's called "Won't You Give Him One," and then in brackets more chance. So it should be "Won't You Give Him One More Chance," but if you break it the way they've broken it, and then you listen to the song, they're not really talking about giving him one more chance. They're talking about her giving him one. You can draw what you want out of that. But as a song, I really like it. That's the only song that's kind of catchy. Could have been a single. You could see it doing quite well as a song. In the charts, lower reaches of the charts. I think that is the best track on the album. So, as I say, very messy, really odd art rock meets heavy rock, but actually quite enjoyable. I have to say, it's definitely worth a listen.
Parish, is it the same lineup as the first British Lines album?
I think so. Yeah, okay. I think so. Yeah,
same thing. I wonder why it was so messy and disjointed.
Because I think they were moving into the early 80s. They were doing, like a lot of bands were experimenting with synthesizers and drum machines.
Isn't it the case this thing was not released? I mean, this has come out now like ages later, so it was sat on the shelf.
Yeah.
So it was shelved by the record company, so
it
was shelved. So this didn't get out until the CD era. I want to say Angel era first, but wherever. But I think part of the problem maybe is like the album may not have been done. I mean, these are what nine tracks or so, but that was sort of my inquiry, but it was never released. I hear what Parish is saying, and I agree. I thought that it wasn't so much of a departure from the first album, and maybe because Fiddler is still the main songwriter, but I enjoyed it. I don't know it as much or as well as the first album, but I thought it held together, and I like the idea that he introduced the idea of art rock because there's some weird shit going in there. But I didn't think it was a complete departure from the first album for me, and I like the way you described it, that it was more, I guess, shambolic, but it was in a good way. So on the Spotify, they have some tracks and some demos, and they do a demo a la Status Quo of Eat the Rich from the first album.
Yeah,
I think I like that demo better than the track that they use because it actually rocks a bit.
Wow.
I mean it's an, like their first album. I don't know if I'm gonna rate it higher than a 7, but I think that it's at least worth a listen. And there's some stuff in there. It's kind of interesting. And if you're definitely a Mott fan, why not?
And I'd say also if you're a Bebop Deluxe fan, because I mentioned that.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of got that Bill Nelson sound on the first song. But there was a few times through it that I thought, that's a bit like Bebop Deluxe in parts. So if you like that kind of thing, or if you like XTC, I guess it's worth a listen. But I think it's okay.
Ashley says for me. Well, Ashley said for me, this band is going in all different directions. Hence, why the split after this. He would say AC/DC and XTC. For me, it's like Dr. Feelgood meets 10cc. He gives it a 5 out of 10.
I can kind of see that as well. It's that, I mean, particularly if Dr. Feelgood was a bit of that pub rock sound as well, wasn't it? So, But I would. I mean, what would I give it? It's kind of. I would probably give it a 6.5. I think it's fun. It's worth listening to. It's not something I'm going to go back and listen to very often. Although I've played it quite a bit over the last week. But it's certainly, I'm certainly glad I listened to it because it was, as I say, it was quite amusing and interesting.
Ken, I want to do the Bebop Deluxe series. I kind of forgot about it, but I love what I've got. I came into Bebop Deluxe late, but everything that I've gotten, I've just absolutely love. Yeah, I wish I would have got into them much earlier, but I didn't. So does anybody know what year that second album did finally get released?
I see them commenting that it might have been early 80s in the US, but
early 80s in the
but whatever. I know it wasn't. My understanding was it was shelved.
It was recorded in 1980. I don't know. I mean, I hadn't realised it was shelved, actually. I know it came out on a different record label, so I don't actually know when it came out.
Right.
Jeff, you're commenting just at the right time because we are going to continue on this series after this with the Ian Hunter catalog. So please subscribe, ring that notification bell. Then you won't miss anything. Anyway, Bebop Deluxe was my first concert. Wow. Ken White, Bill Nelson, the phenomenal. Oh my God. One of the best, very underrated player. Every guitarist should hear Bill Nelson. That's true. Yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to go down Ian Hunter.
Just to let you know, it's showing that it was released in June of 80, but I read something that said it was shelved. I don't know if that's a US thing or UK thing, and it says it was released on Cherry Red in 80. That's Wikipedia, so I don't know if that's accurate.
I wouldn't. Let's look what Discog says.
Right.
I don't know, but Cherry Red's been around a long time, so
yeah,
it could have been.
Right.
But I would have to think that British line should be correct here. Here it is right here. Trouble with Women, Cherry Red, 1980. Yeah. I'm looking at the album cover. For one, oh God, I'm going to spring the album cover up. Really? This is the album cover?
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me get it. Oh my God. Really? This is the album cover? All right. Since we can share it with the class, let it upload here. This is the album cover.
Jeez Louise.
That's not
well, that's one.
That's not the one I saw.
Well,
no, right. Exactly.
There may have been unless it was a later. It's the later.
This is This is the one that came out on Cherry Red in the UK. Huh. There's another album cover. I'll bring it up too, and it's not much better.
No,
but this is the original album on Cherry Red. Here's the other one.
And you wonder why it didn't sell, don't you? I mean, you look at that, you think, why wouldn't you go out and buy that?
All right, here's the other album cover.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
It's still not much better.
No.
And to clarify, it looks like it was rejected by RSO and then Vertigo. They disband. Cherry Red gets the rights. They release it a year later. I assume that's it. I don't know if that's worldwide or just in the UK or whatever, but.
You know what? I was looking at this. This is from the inside booklet on the CD.
Uh-huh.
And I just look at the band here.
Yeah, that kind of. Yeah.
Oh no!
I just see that they're going more into a new. They've all got clogs on for one, pretty much, and they kind of look like they have more of a new wave kind of flavor. You know.
No, those hills still look a bit glam to me.
I don't know about the pipe, the Sherlock Holmes pipe.
That doesn't
It's
work.
unfortunate. That picture is unfortunate.
But why would anybody buy anything from this band? I'm just saying. Here.
And clearly they didn't. That's the point.
Didn't. But that's what's fun about it. Here's another picture of the band from the booklet. There they are.
All right, there you go.
One guy looks like Benjamin Orr from the Cars.
Yeah, that's Buffin.
Yeah. I don't know. They're trying. They're trying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The skinny ties, that's very new wave, isn't it?
I don't know if it makes sense to have Morgan Fisher like in the center of all these photos, but okay.
Evidently he stands out. There's also another, oh my God, there's another cover that's a variation of the second cover that I did. It's very similar, but it did get a recent CD release on Think Like a Key Music from April of this year. So it just got re-released, and it's got the original track, 8 albums on the original 8 tracks, and then it's got a whole bunch of bonus tracks.
Oh wow.
Demos. It's got live tracks from 1977, 1978, and it's got a US radio promo on it. I'm thinking, because I'm intrigued by this because I haven't heard it, but just the way Parish described it, I think I'm going to get it since it just recently got re-released again. Well, there you go.
They had the Mott the Hoople festival not far from me in October. Unfortunately, in the end, I wasn't able to go. I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't get to it. But the interesting thing is I read the review of it afterwards, and John Fiddler was there as part of the panel, and they did some acoustic songs, including a couple of British Lion tracks.
Awesome.
So that would have been, it's one of those things that I nearly went but didn't, and then when I read the review afterwards, I thought I should have gone, really.
Was it Morgan there? He did his own set as well, I think.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Ian Hunter wasn't there, but he did a video message.
Nice.
But yeah, it looked like it was. Hopefully, they'll do it again next year, in which case I will go along. But yeah, I thought it was interesting that John Fiddler was there.
Cool.
So it's definitely seen as part of the Mott the Hoople sort of family, if you like. Those
right.
Just to weigh in on what we gave that record, it came up as a 7.25 for the first British Lions album.
Oh, wow.
Which, about a 7. So that's coming in right where it should be. All right, cool.
I did, David. I regret not going out to play. You're quite right.
Ash, you're going to have to wait because we're going to do Ian Hunter's solo catalog. The other thing I didn't talk about, you guys, I can't remember if we talked about it or not. Did we know how we were going to break those records up?
No,
well, we said we'd start with the 70s, didn't we? We said we'd start with the 70s albums and see how we go.
Do we just want to look at how many 70s albums? Well, we could just do all the 70s albums, break it up by decade. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Right.
I'll be sending some dates out. Ash says these are very hit and miss. Well, we're going to find out. All right, kids, I think we've done it. Go check out the 30th anniversary live album of Marlin. Let's wrap this hound up. Exactly. We're going to wrap this dog up. Go out and check out that 30th anniversary edition. Everyone seemed to like it. And if you're a completist, go out and check out British Lions. Me, I'm going to go check out that second album because it just sounds wacky enough and odd enough that I might like it. So I'm good. Al's coming in. What about Rick Ronson's solo albums? Never thought about it, Al.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it now.
We'll just keep rolling, won't we?
We're just going to keep rolling, and we're going to just see where we go. I know. We got to get through Ian Hunter first. New York Rock Radio played a lot of Ian solo songs back in the day. Cleveland rocks. It does rock.
And I, because you don't listen to modern records, Grant, we've definitely got to do.
I did get something modern. Wait a minute now.
We've definitely got to do the latest two. Oh, they're a really good band.
Holy crap. I know we're on a tangent. I heard a track on Sirius XM. It was the track Positive Change. I can't read. I think it's Positive Charge or Positive Change, one of the two.
What is it?
Gaslight Anthem.
I just got this today. Positive Charge. This is the band, the Gaslight Anthem. This record came out. When did this come out? 2023. I heard a track on Sirius XM, Positive Charge. I heard it, and my God, I had to go order it pronto.
Oh, wow. I
was totally taken by it. The songwriting's great. The only drag is that there's one song with Bruce Springsteen on it. But, and I'm not a big Springsteen guy, but great songwriting. Oh my God. Positive Charge is like an anthem. It's hooky. It's refreshing. I heard this and I'm going, oh my God, this is 2023. My God, I love it. So I just got it today.
You've got to get the 59. What's the album called? 59 Sound. That was the album I got into them with.
Okay.
I think they're a brilliant band. I've seen them live 3 or 4 times. Every time they come over, I watch them. Really good. The band they sound like to me is there's elements of the Alarm in there with the way of the music. It's kind of got that sort of new wavy type sound. But yeah, I think they're a great band. Absolutely.
I love it. I absolutely am hooked.
But if you like that, get 59 Sound. But all their albums are good. I think they split up for a while because there was a long pause. And then they came back with that album. So
wow.
Yeah, they've been going since 2006, so they've been around a bit.
Slipped through the cracks for me, Parish. Slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, definitely really good band. But what I was going to say was, on the basis you don't buy many new albums, then we should definitely do the last 2 Ian Hunter albums as well.
Okay. Well, Nick and I, we did a show. We looked at what was the Yellow album called? Remind me.
Second to the last one.
Second to the last one.
Yeah.
The Music Nut, and you and I did it.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, well, if you've already done it, fair enough.
We can touch on it. It's part of the series.
Because I just think he does go through a bit of a lull in quality. But those 2 albums, I think he just comes back really strong. So.
All right, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to let you go. Nick, Parish, thanks for doing this. We've wrapped up Mott the Hoople. We'll be back next month. I'll send out some dates. We will be back with our Ian Hunter. We're just going to keep going.
Ian Hunter, and we're going to do a Gaslight Anthems as well.
And real quick, just to let you know, because everything he does is a 10, Luther has a new album came out in October, and he's got about 4 or 5 solo albums. So because we know he's always a 10, you should check out Luther.
We've got to do them as well, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Wrap the rascal, clean the monkey, irrigate the water pick. We will be back. We will see you next month. Gentlemen, keep it clean. We'll see you.